The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. If you enjoy our work, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow the links in the description. Thanks for your support, and enjoy.
Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucci, joined as always by my fellow commentary partner, The Boy.
Hey.
Here we are ready to talk about WWE Payback 2016.
So, that's a show that happened. It was a wrestling show. People wrestled on it. Matches were had. Those matches finished. Most of them.
Everything's better when nerds talk about it.
The end!
I wasn't excited for this pay-per-view at all. Usually I only talk about these shows if I'm into them. But we could not get a hold of Billy for some reason. Hope everything's well over in Billy Land. So here I am, filling in. This wasn't a bad pay-per-view, but I don't know that I'd call it a good one. Because I was trying to think about this the whole way through. Like, but for a couple of promos and what would have been the opener and the main event, this was like a solid C.
Yeah.
C minus.
I would say C.
It just wasn't grabbing me. I mean, again, we don't watch week to week, but like...
The video package did a fair amount to sell the stakes of pretty much every match except for, like, one, and we'll get to that. But...
Well, I just wasn't invested.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. I was a little more invested than you.
Yeah, I think so.
But ultimately, it's not like it was a fine show. It happened. It was good.
It was just
the matches were fine when they happened.
One of those situations where, like, the wrestlers involved, I don't necessarily dislike most of them, but I'm not really a fan of most of them either.
And they were all nobody fucked up tonight.
No, nothing too bad. I mean, maybe a little light here and there, but it wasn't anything serious. Well, Enzo Amore kind of took a dive on that rope, but he's okay, so we're allowed to joke about it.
Yeah, he's only got a concussion, and that's bad, but every other test came up negative. He's fine.
So, I mean, I guess out of everybody that was on this show, I think I liked the Vaudevillains the most.
I like Benzo and Cass a lot.
They're alright. I don't have anything against them. I think they're fun. They make me laugh. I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I really like the Vaudevillains gimmick. I like the way they comport themselves. You know, that's cool. But, I mean, they didn't really even get to do anything, so...
No, because, well, best to just get right into the matches. The opener was supposed to be the number one contenders match for the tag team titles. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy versus the Vaudevillains, Aiden English and Simon Gotch.
Which was preceded by a very nice New Day promo. Short but sweet.
Yeah, good also.
This was one of the B-plus efforts on this overall C show.
Yeah. But then the Enzo and Colin Cassidy did themselves a promo, and it was... I mean, fucking bonkers.
Yeah, it was nuts. There was, like, Hey Arnold references.
Like, deep. Like, he went to Stoop Kid. Yeah. Okay?
Like, at first, I get on the network, look it up, listen to it, see if it's on YouTube, whatever. It was pretty good. But, at first I was like, ooh, bad pull. But then he, like, came back around. And then he worked at it again. And then there was, like, a fourth one that kind of flew past the radar. But I was impressed. But yeah, this match didn't have a finish because...
About, 4 minutes into it?
Not if that much.
Enzo, there was a spot where he's supposed to get whipped out of the ring, and he,
just fucking caught his head on the middle rope, hit the bottom rope on the way down, and smacked it against the mat. And, as he's leaving the ring from the apron to the floor, this dude has got nobody home written on his eyes. I mean...
He has that look that boxers or MMA fighters have right before they ring the bell. He's just not there anymore.
I mean, the Vaudevillains even broke kayfabe and were like, "You okay, man? You alright over there, buddy?"
The referee, immediately threw up the X. They brought out the stretcher. It was done. It was over. The New Day were doing a bit where they were sitting on beanbag chairs, eating pizza, taking selfies, and they were, just sad and sitting there and didn't know what to do with themselves.
I do have to give props to Byron Saxton. I've not been a fan of his commentary at all, but actually the whole commentary table this entire show was really on point. JBL is the
He was trying
standout
today.
star of the show.
When he's trying, he's amazing.
There was one point where Byron was like, "Why do you say these things, JBL?" After he had like been ripping him for about 5 minutes, he says, "Because I believe him."
No, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that deep. It wasn't even that complex. It was, JBL, why do you say these mean things? I mean them.
Yeah. It was
fucking
fantastic.
perfect.
Oh my god, the whole
Legend.
show. But Byron kept going. He was very pro about it and
like Michael
tried to
Cole,
keep the energy up.
Michael Cole did the official "I'm Michael Cole. Here's my serious face. Remember when the King had a heart attack? Remember my serious face? This is my serious face. This is serious. All right, you guys, some shit just went down." And then like both he and then like for a second, JBL and Cole were just fucking staring at Enzo like, "Oh fuck, is this guy dead?" Like, oh, fuck. Everyone liked him. Fuck. And then Byron just picked that shit up and ran with it.
Yeah, it was nice. He didn't really fuck up anything tonight. I mean, no more than anybody does.
And he like took some heavy ribbing from like Kevin Owens. And,
oh yeah. Oh my god.
And he took it with good grace and like played into the bit, and it was good.
That was the next match. Is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for their pride.
Yeah, it was a grudge match.
Yeah, just a grudge match. It wasn't bad, but it was definitely not the best I've seen from either guy. And Sammy was kind of dragging tonight.
Sammy was having an off night. He was having a B night instead of an A night. Kevin, fucking kudos to Kevin Owens.
Yeah, he made Sammy look good on a night where he's not doing
made
good.
Sammy look real strong.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Owens went over clean with a pop-up powerbomb. Not even really any shenanigans, just like...
Yeah, it was a fight. This was probably, aside from the main event, the best match of the night. Which isn't... That's not great.
I mean, no.
It was an okay match.
It was a B match. Like, it was elevated by Kevin Owens. Again, I'm gonna fucking... That's right, listener. I'm gonna fucking heap praise on Kevin Owens. Motherfucker put forth an A+ effort. Like, he made what could have been a mediocre match into a good match.
I don't know what happened. Like, this might have happened earlier in the match. I only noticed it, but it looked like Sami Zayn hit something on him, dropped him on his back on the apron, and it looked like Kevin hit his head from behind and then had a nosebleed, which I've been in this situation before. Anecdote time, viewer, since we're going to need to fill time on this show. There was, in my youth, I found myself around basketballs a lot. A, because I like to play basketball, and B, because I was on the playground like you do, and in gym class. I took 16 basketballs to the head in my high school years. I think it might have been 17 after that, but in my middle to high school years, the 16th one hit me in the back of the head and caused a nosebleed.
To this day, the reasoning is a mystery because no one went to the doctor over this.
No, well, I get nosebleeds anyway. I've got thin membranes. I've had them since I was a kid. If the barometric pressure gets all fucky, I get nosebleeds. But that's scary. This was notable. So,
and apparently not Kevin Owens entertaining.
He went goofy. Like, even the rest of the match, he had this look on his face like, why am I bleeding?
He was very concerned, like, why am I bleeding from the nose? I didn't take a shot to the nose. Why am I bleeding from the nose?
And it was like just in his eyes. Like, his mouth, he was keeping it, kind of retarded mean muggy. But, like, his eyes were like, oh, God, why am I bleeding from the nose? What the fuck's going on? And, like, after the match, he, like, drags Byron Saxton into the ring and forces him to interview him, Air Bunnies. And then he decides to join him on commentary for the IC title match.
And he fucking, like, I spent the entire IC title match just cracking my shit up at Kevin Owens. My God, is this the Kevin Owens everyone's been talking about this whole time? Did he get knocked entertaining? What the fuck? Because that shit was fucking hilarious.
IC title match was, who the fuck? Oh, Cesaro and The Miz. I'm tired of The Miz.
The Miz is one of the most effective heels of the modern age. I will fucking go to bat for Mike Mizanin. The dude knows how to get over as a bad guy.
Well, but only so far. Like, he hit his peak, 5 years ago when he headlined WrestleMania? And, like, he has not been able to climb back since.
Well, they haven't really pushed him since.
I don't know that he's earned it.
I'm not going to comment on that one way or the other.
Like, his highest point was really aided entirely by can't remember his fucking name. You know who I'm talking about.
Damien Sandow.
Damien Sandow, thank you. My brain was just going Daivari, and I'm like, no. It's a different fucking dude.
Did you get hit in the head?
Maybe I did. That was entirely Damien Sandow. That had so little to do with The Miz.
Damien Sandow could have been doing that bit with literally anyone else on
Sure,
Earth.
yeah.
But, The Miz is a good heel. He knows how to get over as a bad guy.
He does.
He knows how to get over as the exact kind of bad guy that everyone in this very fractious modern era, and we're going to talk about that surprisingly later, I'm going to talk about it. You're going to sit there and you're going to like it.
I will sit here.
Yeah,
he gets over as a heel, just not that much.
But not everyone needs to be a main event guy.
No, I suppose. I just, I wish
some people are Billy Gunn.
I wish he would mix it up. I wish he would do something that's...
He can't get over as a face.
I don't need him to get over his face. He just needs to do something a little different. It's been the same... It's been the same gimmick since he was at WrestleMania. Except at some point they put sunglasses and a weird coat on it.
When he was in the Marine 3. Fun fact, because Randy Orton couldn't be in the Marine 3. That's the whole reason Mike got that. Because the Marines pitched a fucking hissy fit when they were going to put Randy Orton in the Marine 3. Because Randy Orton was dishonorably discharged from the Marines.
Ah, okay, that's a good reason. That's a fun bit of trivia. This match was... it was a Kevin Owens talk fest. I don't even remember the action. Oh, it wasn't that bad. I don't know why they didn't switch Cesaro back to the James Bond villain music since he's dressing like James Bond.
His music's cool, but not... Look,
it doesn't fit his gimmick.
Cesaro's an amazing ring technician. I can never take that away from the guy. He's really fucking good. He's amazing in terms of actually wrestling matches.
And he knows how to roll with a fuck-up.
He knows how to roll with a fuck-up incredibly well.
That's 100% Chikara shit.
And it's such a rare talent in WWE.
Oh, yes.
And he can make it look good, like it was intentional. And he's a good ring psychologist. He knows how to get over a match story. But, the dude is not good at cutting promos.
No, not terribly.
So he's never going to get over.
Well, he is pretty over.
Not with Vince.
Not with Vince, no. But he's fairly over with the fans. And you can tell that they're trying to put... they're trying to give him as much of a chance as...
They're trying to put as much shine on that apple as they can because they know that apple's never going to talk.
But at the same time, it's they're not making weird concessions. Even if you don't go back to his old James Bond villain music, give him something more James Bondy. He comes out, he's got the fucking spotlight and the tux and everything.
That pull-away tux is, I can't tell if it's really fucking stupid or amazing. For entrance attire. I genuinely can't tell.
Whatever. Just fucking roll with it.
It's Chikara-y, I'll give it that.
Yeah, don't fucking pussyfoot around it. Either do it or don't. This half-assed shit is leading to a guy whose gimmick is... I guess he's James Bond.
This half-assed shit is leading to a guy whose gimmick is... fuck, man, I don't know.
Wrestling's weird sometimes.
Hey, dude... The Undertaker's a wrestling zombie biker, okay?
Yeah,
sometimes wrestling's weird.
And the Mrs. Girlfriend, wife, whatever, Maurice. It's good to see Maurice back in the ring.
Oh, Maggle. You're not always Maggle.
It wasn't even Maggle. It was the fucking ring announcer, whoever that new chick is.
Maurice! Crazy old Maurice!
That match was did it even end?
Fuck, I don't remember.
Because, Kevin Owens was talking shit the whole time. Sami Zayn finally came out there and was like...
Yeah, no, that's what happened. Kevin Owens was talking shit, and then Sami Zayn came out and started up another fight, and then that fight spilled into the ring, which caused, distraction from The Miz tapping out, because he was tapping out to Cesaro with a crossface, and then Cesaro, let go of The Miz to go shove both those guys off the ring apron, and then Miz got to roll up, pulled the tights, and won. That's it.
That's right, I remember now.
Just sort of all happened.
Yeah, it was and I wasn't paying that much attention.
It was just a series of events that occurred.
This felt like a really good Raw.
Yeah, and you know what? The network's $10.
Yeah.
Really good Raw is a perfectly acceptable thing to get because the value you get from the network is all the other shit.
It's fucking Payback. It's not like it's one of the big pay-per-views.
This
I wasn't expecting
SummerSlam.
No.
This wasn't this wasn't even Survivor Series. This was fucking Backlash, which they renamed. For some reason, Backlash is a much cooler name.
Even JBL at one point was talking about how Shane McMahon and the Big Show fought.
When he jumped off the Titan.
Yeah, at this arena at Backlash, this pay-per-view.
This is Backlash, you guys. And dude, Backlash is a much cooler fucking name.
Yeah, I mean, it works into the idea that this is what happened after WrestleMania.
Payback makes it too personal.
Nobody was giving anybody any payback, except, I guess, Chris Jericho.
And kind of Sami Zayn.
Or Kevin Owens, whichever one you... So 2 matches, not enough to theme a pay-per-view around, especially when they're not main event matches.
And neither of them are for anything.
No, yeah.
The 2 grudge matches on the card are Payback. Because they're the 2 grudge matches on the card.
Yes, I mean, if you had, like, half of them, maybe the Taya. A little bit.
That's iffy. But,
regardless.
Alright, the fucking, full disclosure, the Wikipedia page isn't updated yet, so we don't remember the matches as they happened in order necessarily. We'll go over them all, though.
Yeah, we'll hit them all at some point or another. And, like, really the flow doesn't matter much.
No, I mean, like, what'd you say? It's bad, you said this, it's bad for your pay-per-view if the things that are most memorable and good about it were the promos?
Yeah.
The promos were really solid.
Yeah, that was good work.
All the talking that happened was solid talking.
So that was the IC match. So there was something else after that. Was that when Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho?
That's probably the Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, not even your piss break, your nap time match.
Yeah, you fell asleep. Usually that's my territory.
I literally fucking nodded. This has happened like in the last 3 pay-per-views. There's been 1 match on the card, and it's never the same guy, so I can't blame anybody, where I've just literally given such little fucks about what was going on that I nodded off on the fucking couch while it was happening. And this time, this was the match. It's just like I was gone for like maybe like a solid few minutes of it. I was just literally, and I'm not even tired. I woke up like at 3 p.m. today. It was like 11 p.m. when this match was on.
Yeah.
This match put me to fucking sleep, and it's not the guys in the ring's fault. They were doing a match. It was perfectly acceptable. It was perfectly good. Chris Jericho was doing his job. Dean Ambrose was doing his job. Everyone was like doing a match, okay?
I will say Chris has slowed down a little bit in his old age.
He has.
Not quite the Chris Jericho he once was.
I don't want to roll back on the fucking shitfest I gave AJ Styles last month, but like spoilers, had a really good match, and Chris Jericho didn't. So like, I'm willing to hedge my bets that maybe a little more of it was Chris than I originally thought.
Regardless, I think the problem with this match was that the stakes were so...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I didn't give a shit about the stakes. Chris Jericho was mad that Dean Ambrose took over his talk show, of which there are 9 that are the same thing.
Yeah.
There's the highlight reel. That's Jericho's, I believe.
Yeah.
Then there is the Peep Show.
Mm-hmm. The Cutting Edge.
The Cutting Edge. The
Piper's Pit, of course.
Piper's Pit. The Barber Shop.
Sure.
Miz
had one for
Miz
a while.
TV.
Miz TV, yeah.
The Ambrose Asylum now.
And before that, Miz and
Dirt Sheet. Him and John Morrison.
Yeah.
What
do they call him now? Johnny Mundo or something?
Whatever he is in the Indies, I don't know.
He's in Lucha Underground, actually.
Oh, that makes me want to watch Lucha Underground.
I wish I had access to El Rey.
Like, I really want to watch Lucha Underground.
Like, full disclosure there, listener, the idea of Lucha Underground, which is a super in kayfabe wrestling show presented like a dramatic television series, was totally my idea. And I am so honored to see it exist in the real world. I desperately want to watch it, but I have no fucking clue how to get El Rey.
But that's
just the tip of the iceberg. There were so many other ones, and why are you even mad? Like I remember,
and that's just those are the ones off the top of our heads.
I remember when Booker T and Edge were feuding over who got a Japanese shampoo commercial, and I think that feud made more sense and had more gravitas to it.
I mean, you're right.
Then who gets the pretend talk show this week?
They're all the same. They're all the same. It's a promo where one of the wrestlers does the interviewing instead, and then there's a fight. That's all they are. Please! That is the dumbest thing to fight about ever. I cannot fathom a stupider feud. Like, I'm sure there have been. Don't get me wrong. It's the WWE. There have been stupider feuds.
Well, only the first couple times they did
I guess Katie Vick was worse, but it feels like Reducto had hit.
I don't know, dude. Like, okay, like Katie Vick was in bad taste, but as a WrestleMan, if some motherfucker goes to all the trouble of humping a blow-up doll with your face on, essentially, and like records it and puts it on live TV just to imply that you're a weird corpse rapist and a murderer, I'd be really mad too.
I'd be fucking scared. That's the actions of a crazy person.
But you know, that's good grounds for a feud. Yeah, fuck that guy up.
But like, oh god, like, but I can't. That's it. Is that there's been more wackadoo bullshit reasons for feuds, but can you think of one that was for a pettier reason?
I mean, this is, and it's not even like I said. The first couple times this happened, sure, you know, or after somebody had a show for a long time and it got taken over, sure. But this is so.
This is the highlight reel. This is fucking. That was 9 shows ago, dude.
Yeah.
Why are you not feuding with The Miz or Christian or Edge or fucking?
Well, 2 of those guys don't wrestle anymore.
That wouldn't stop Chris Jericho from feuding with them.
I'll fight you all.
he fights fans.
Really, the highlight of this match was Googling what the fuck GOAT means.
He just GOAT in a fucking acronym on the back. Chris Jericho has GOAT in an acronym on the back of his fucking tights. And I was like, is he a big fan of Fallout? What the fuck?
We went back and forth trying to figure out what the fuck it could stand for. I finally Googled it. It's greatest of all time.
Dumb. Dumb. Don't go looking for an acronym that spells out farm animals. That's a dumb thing to do.
But,
and then put it on your ass. When there's already a really popular wrestler right now who's already associated with that same farm animal. What the fuck? You did all of that wrong.
He's the best in the world at what he does. Nobody has that catchphrase.
Unless you cut off the last, 3 words of it.
I was talking about Wolverine.
He's the best there is at what he... He includes other worlds and alternate universes because he's Wolverine and he kind of has to.
Anyway, Dean Ambrose goes over because Chris Jericho's the other man in the ring, and
unless you're AJ Styles, that's how it works.
AJ Styles and fucking Bray Wyatt. That's how that worked. Whatever. It wasn't terrible. It was
a match. It happened. I think
it didn't matter. Like, it felt like an exhibition match on a pay-per-view that they, fucking threw a lay around and was like, look, it's a luau match.
I wish this fucking Wikipedia page was updated, because normally I can tell how much time each match was given. This match feels like it was given more time to make up for the tag match being out of time. Did not have enough time.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because it felt really fucking long for no discernible reason.
They probably were just filming time. After that was the Divas match. Or, excuse me, Women's Championship match.
That's right, motherfucker. Yeah, that's right.
I have to get used to that. I can't just roll it off the tongue anymore. We'll learn. But this was, they tried to make it look like
Natalya had any chance of winning.
Because they gave some background to the feud. They brought Bret Hart out, and he was like, yeah, I beat cancer. And,
they gave Natalya wicked fucking new ring gear.
She usually has really good ring gear.
She usually does, but I liked this one, a lot. And the one from Raw a few weeks ago, even more. That was cool shit.
But, I'm sorry that you're not going to give...
This is Sasha Banks' payoff.
Yeah, you're not going to give Sasha Banks' payoff to Natalya, of all people. Nice try, though.
You can do it with Becky Lynch or Paige, or maybe Bayley up from the NXT roster. Bayley could take that payoff. Because Bayley's the one who beat Charlotte. She beat Sasha.
It would be a bad idea, but they could.
But this is clearly Sasha Banks' payoff.
This is Sasha's payoff.
Natty Neidhart wasn't going to win this.
Oh. She did a good job, though. It was
but then they did it in the literal stupidest way.
Yeah, and fucking if JBL... No, I'm just going to fucking lay it out there. So, Charlotte has... fucking... There's 2 seconds there of me going, the fuck is anyone's name? It's just this line of dead air on the readout. It's beautiful. Charlotte has Natalya in the sharpshooter, and the fans are like, "Boo," because and
but it's not even. She's in it for like 0.4 seconds.
Yeah, and little Nate is looking at her and looking at Natalya, and then he's looking at the ring bell, and he's like, "Look it, she tapped," which she plainly doesn't. And fucking what's his real name? Charles Robinson.
Yeah,
and that's all they ever call him. They don't call him Lil Nate. They're like, "Oh, Charles Robinson
that
decided."
being what every fan has called him for the last 10
it's
fucking
his
years.
backstage nickname.
He's Lil Nate because he looks like Ric Flair.
And Ric Flair kind of took him under his wing also. There's a whole thing about it, but whatever. He just up and decides that fucking...
He just pulls himself a Chicago screw job.
So, nothing happens. The result is not reversed or questioned. It's just well, I guess that's the match. And so Bret Hart and Natalya get in the ring and put Ric Flair and Charlotte in sharpshooters and their family, and that's great. But it was nobody sold that the reason for the screw job happening was anything other than, I guess, referee Charles Robinson really likes the Montreal screw job and doesn't like Bret Hart. Fuck you, I wish Cancer had done a better job. Until JBL is yeah, they call him Lil Nate. Just edges it into the fucking...
he's fucking... You can tell JBL's just looking around are all of you retarded?
Is anyone going to sell this at all? Because I don't think all the fans are going to understand why he turned scab.
Fucking...
That was dumb. That was lazy.
And that's a great way,
And you know what? Fuck. Do what they did with the main event. Have somebody come out and be like, no. Do it again, but instead this
better.
time Charlotte wins, or there's some other chicanery to cause Charlotte to win. So it's a legitimate result instead of just, Lil Nate decided he wanted to go into business for himself. He's let him do that. He's got seniority. I trust him, believe him.
He's got tenure. He's got referee tenure.
It's not even like there was a fudgy camera angle where she kind of tapped. No, she's just sitting there. She's like, ow, and just sitting there. Open-mouthed, not moving her lips like she could have said, "I quit." Just fucking full camera view of her. And he's just like, no, she tapped out. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And, all right, Lil Nate is one of their most talented referees. He does his job. He's always very on the ball. And he has kind of a fan following. He's a known referee. And that's kind of interesting. We like that, because that way when the ref takes a bump, we care.
Yeah.
So here's the fucking problem with this. No referee has ever fucking survived this fucking spot. Earl Hebner never recovered from the Montreal screw job.
This is going to get swept under the rug, I guarantee you.
I really fucking hope so, to be honest. Because, name the last 4 crooked referees who still have a job.
Well, Earl Hebner was crooked outside of the ring.
Yes, also that's true.
That was a completely different thing. He went on to work for TNA for a long time. He might still be employed there. But no, he fucked some people over backstage at the WWE. He was not a good guy. I remember him fondly, but...
He had a job for several years after that, but
Yeah, unrelated to the
his
screw job.
credibility never recovered. Because there was always that, people could always bring up that specter of, well, it is Earl, so...
Yeah, maybe they want to create that again. I don't know, but...
I don't in almost every scenario, I don't like referees. I don't like the sanctity of the striped shirt being fucked around with, unless it's a special guest referee.
Right, and that's what I was about to say. This could have used some setup, And maybe they fucking set it up through the week. Maybe they had all these promos where Ric Flair was talking to fucking Lil Nate. It was a big thing, and I missed it, and they didn't put it in the video package because they wanted to roost me. Whatever.
That's entirely possible. And if so, mention it in the comments. Tell us we're dumb and wrong.
After you like and subscribe, just write that in the comments. Tell us how dumb and wrong we are. I will come by. I will like it. I will thank you for commenting on the video, because that's kind of so I am. You check the comments. 9 times out of 10, I will comment on the video, and if I don't, I will still like it, because I appreciate your support, listener. Ultimo Dragon, you know how much we love you on this show.
We do. We really do.
Then it's a pretty long promo between Shane, Vince, and Steph. And CM Punk's ghost.
Which Vince just used it fucking charisma'd down. They started chanting CM Punk, and
it was hard and loud.
He went with it for a while, and then after a minute, he got tired of it. You could tell he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna see how long you guys can do this. And he like started conducting chant. He's like, he did little conductors, CM Punk, as they were doing it. He was just conducting them through it.
It wasn't even like he wore them down, because it seemed like they could go for a while, but then he said like two things, I don't remember what the fuck they were, and they just stopped.
And then he fucking razzed them about it. After they stopped, he was like, oh, come on, you guys can do better than that. He razzed them after beating them.
Yeah, well, that's Vince, but, long and short of it was a great set of promos. I mean,
they started chanting boring at Stephanie's promo because they're fucking sour internet wrestling nerds.
She's the heel, and they've been building up the Authority as a bunch of shitheads for 4 years now.
Right. And that's fine, but, like, boring is for specific use. You chant that when it's actually fucking boring.
Regardless, Steph was being great. Yeah, Shane was great.
Good promos. There was a really good moment that I loved where they started chanting, "You still got it" at Shane, because Shane was willing to attempt to commit suicide off the Hell in a Cell, which he does still indeed have his death wish. And they're like, she let it go for like a couple seconds, and she went, "You know what? You guys are right. Thank you. I do still have it," and it was fucking amazing.
Damn right she does. But Vince decides they're both in control of Raw,
which is better than what I thought they were going to do. I was worried they were going to do a brand split.
Another one? The third show?
No, like actually hard split Raw and SmackDown. Like a roster split.
Like, as much as that never fucking works out,
I thought they were going to do it.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
I just don't know. I would mind seeing it when the rest of their stars come back. I don't know that they have enough star power to run two shows.
That's fair. But whatever, it was a good series of promos. That led us right into our main event, which I thought, like, as interminably long as parts of this show felt, overall,
the main event was solid.
Oh yeah, the main event was solid.
But yeah, no, you're right. The show kind of felt long-ish. That fucking Dean Ambrose Chris Jericho match felt like I wish I could. When I'm old and I have like super cancer and I only have a few days left to live, I'm just gonna put that match on because it'll make those few days feel so much longer.
I got all the time in the world. Chris Ambrose and Dean Jericho are just getting started. Get him, Hulk Hogan. It's on her.
I'm old and have cancer, not dementia.
Maybe it's brain cancer. You don't know. Anyway. It's a cancer-filled podcast, this one.
It's a cancer-y podcast.
Yeah, this was a pretty solid match. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I actively dislike AJ Styles, and I don't care about Roman Reigns.
Fuck it. All right, AJ Styles put on way better a match this time than he did last time.
Which is to say he didn't fuck anything up.
Yes, that's all I need from him. Look, I'm never going to be an AJ Styles fan.
I don't like his moveset. I don't like how he executes a lot of shit.
His accent doesn't fit with the gimmick he's trying to pull off. His outfit is stupid.
It wasn't that bad this time. Like, this build-up, it wasn't incongruous.
He might be trying to, like, play it down a little.
Maybe.
But, like, he's...
But he doesn't sound like Bob Dylan, so I guess I'll
his fucking outfit looks dumb. His hair looks dumb. His gloves look dumb. His pants look dumb. Everything about him looks dumb. A bunch of his moves don't feel impactful, like his little martial arts rush thing. Most of it just looks like he's throwing a hissy fit at them, and they get confused, so he Pele kicks them. Like, especially that one where he spins around and knife chops, like does a backwards roundhouse knife chop to their neck or whatever. That looks really stupid, and he doesn't look strong enough to make it look good.
It just, he doesn't hit hard enough. I've seen people pull off that exact fucking rush.
And I don't mean potato motherfuckers.
No.
like...
Well, I do. I was thinking about Tajiri, but...
Tajiri didn't know how to do a working punch, okay?
Didn't care.
Shoot punches.
I don't know if you know much about Yoshihiro Tajiri. He did not give a fuck.
But, like, as an example, Dean Ambrose on the roster right now has an amazing working punch. It looks really hard, really vicious, and it like is a light feather touch from everyone in the backstage saying that he's one of the best guys to work with because he was really soft, but he doesn't look it. Steve Austin had an amazing working punch. They're not fucking rocket science, AJ. Like, I couldn't do one because I'm not a pro wrestler, but if the internet is to be believed, you are, I'm told.
It's fucking... Look, I'm happy Jamie Noble's getting some success. I
I
don't
mean,
like his
right?
new wig, but whatever.
It's his weird fright wig. His weird Lex Luthor-like fright wig. But, like, I'm never going to be an AJ Styles fan.
I'm not either.
So what I need from him is I need for him to pull shit off. And just, like, do his job. So I might end up an AJ Styles fan if he ends up not fucking up for long enough. I used to hate Wade Barrett, and Wade Barrett was way worse than AJ is now. Way worse.
Wade Barrett forgot his own accent constantly.
I remember when that happened.
Oh
Hey,
my
AJ,
God.
go talk to Wade Barrett. Maybe he can teach you how to forget your own accent. It'll be great. You can get a different other dumb accent.
Becomes Cajun halfway through his dialogue.
Hey, you know what? No, fuck it. That build with the thing they're trying to pull off, you should do a full-on Remy Barteau fucking Gambit accent. That fits better, actually. Because you're trying to be smooth, and Cajun people are stereotypically super smooth.
But anyway, I will say I did like the mugging in this match a lot.
It was a solid contest.
Yeah, good.
And, alright, like, Roman was getting cheers. Like, he was still getting a bunch of boos. But it wasn't 100% boos. And this was Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, if he was gonna get boos anywhere, he's gonna get booed in fucking Make Roman Look Strong Chicago. And he wasn't, like, there were signs. There were Roman Empire signs and Roman Empire shirts. And he was getting, like, a good 30% cheers. By the end of the match, it was maybe 40, not 50. It was not half and half. He was still mostly getting boos. But what? Chicago, of all places? Are you guys that big of contrarians that because all the other arenas are booing Roman, now some of you have to cheer him? Is that it?
Maybe. I don't know. So, the match ends on a countout because AJ Styles doesn't know how to roll back out of the ring after he rolls into it.
He rolled into the ring and then just sort of, like, he was at 9, roll into the ring, roll out. It's really simple. Wrestlers have been doing it since literally the 80s.
Yeah, I was just watching WCW like 2 weeks ago, and that totally happened a lot.
But you reset the count. It's just a thing. It's a spot. It's a way to fill time. But he just didn't.
Like, there was this thing, he was trying to get Roman into the ring, but his stupid wee southern arms weren't quite strong enough.
To lift Roman's big, giant
he drops
Roman
him
Reigns frame.
at like 8, and then stares at the referee while the referee counts 9, and it's like, well, I might as well win the match. So he slides on in. But, like, you took all that time to consider, and you didn't go like, well, I'll roll in and then roll back out.
Well, he is, like, I'm from the South, I can say this. He is from the South. Maybe it just didn't connect for him.
Shit, what comes after 8? Is it 10? Am I in trouble? I better get in that there ring.
But
Could be 20 for all I know.
I never did know arithmetic before.
And Shane McMahon comes out and he's like, we're restarting this motherfucker. And
Bullshit. This
no
may have been
count
the
out.
old days, but not now. Not when Shane O'Mac's here. We're doing it, no countouts. Restart the match. So they did. And they fought for a while. And it was really good, really solid.
The referee decides that Roman Reigns hit AJ Styles in the nuts.
Which he did. He clearly hit him right in the breadbasket. He
Because
diverticulitis him.
I commented on it. I was like, man, what a great blow. Right in his stomach. And the ref is like, no, you hit him in the balls. And Roman's like, I didn't.
I clearly didn't.
What the fuck match were you watching? So Steph comes out and is like, no, fuck that bullshit. This is the new era. I gotta be better than Shane. No disqualification. Which basically she might have ended that with, come on, Bullet Club, fuck him up.
Come on out, guys. Now's your cue. And to be fair, they didn't do it immediately. They waited for it. And this was all while an actual wrestling. See, that's the thing. Normally these fucky like douchebag dusty finishes, they're bad for like a main event because they kind of prevent a match from happening. They take over the story. But while this was happening, those guys were also wrestling an actual wrestling match.
I will say for like the first 5 minutes of the match, at least, no, they weren't.
No,
that was just two motherfuckers avoiding wrestling each other.
Yeah, but that was the spot.
There was a point where AJ Styles was literally running away from Roman Reigns.
Well, that was the thing.
Sure,
that was part of the match psychology.
I mean, the fans were into it, so
Japanese as fuck. They were starting very slow, and then
Yeah.
they built throughout the match, and they did build. But and then like the finish. Once the no disqualification thing, the Bullet Club came out. They did their dumb move, which has a dumb name.
But it was a cool move. It has a dumb name. Looks good.
Like, I'd like to see it more before
I would like to see it more too.
Before I could judge that it looks good, because right now I haven't seen it work enough for it to really be sold as good.
Sure.
You know? And then they leave. Instead of continuing to fuck up Roman Reigns, which no one is stopping them from doing.
I get the impression that AJ Styles doesn't want them to fuck up Roman Reigns.
Well, they made that clear.
So they were
kind of
hiding from AJ.
They made it very clear in the video packages that, at least as far as the current kayfabe is concerned, AJ Styles doesn't want their help. But they're going to help him anyway because they're bestest buddies, and these guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah. But, I don't remember what led to it, but they were like, fuck it, we're going to help AJ, and then the Usos come down and fuck up the Bullet Club. They
fight for a while, then Roman Reigns throws AJ into the whole pile, then AJ crawls over the barricade, and Roman Reigns jumps into the pile again, which, fucking, you're the Usos, you come out to help your boy, he throws a guy at you, and then jumps at you himself. Fuck, not a good day for Jimmy and Jay. And then, that clears out the Bullet Club from the match, and they just wrestle the rest of the match. Yeah. And Roman goes over. Clean as a fucking sheet.
I will say, I think it was during this match that JBL did something near and dear to my heart. In Full Intensity Wrestling, which you can find by Googling, it's the eFed that I run. It's weird current year. But back in the day, we were very, very heavily inspired by Japanese wrestling. And for a long time, it was a common trope, also an early NGIW, my old eFed, to have announcers call hard lariats with lariato, like the Japanese style. And JBL called out to that, and I was like, oh, man, that's my lariat. That's my people's lariat.
And it was fucking lariato. It was a really solid looking clothesline that AJ Styles sold like he got shot by a cannon.
Yeah. JBL was just happy. JBL, standout fucking star of this
Also, fucking side note. Extra special side note. Dude, alright. A lot of Wrestling Insiders, because I still listen to occasional Wrestling Insider podcasts, they bitch and bitch and bitch these days, especially older dudes, that nobody sells anything anymore. Nobody really sells anything anymore. Moves just happen. But, in this match, at the very least, you cannot fucking give me that criticism, because AJ and Roman both sold shit the whole match as a thread line really well.
Look, let me speak at you. This person. This straw man we've invented that exists.
It's JR. It's not a straw man.
So let me speak at you, JR. I don't know what fucking wrestling you were watching 20 years ago. People didn't sell back then either. Some guys did, and it was phenomenal. But not everybody did. Matches take a certain amount of time. You don't always have time to sell well. Period. If they say go out there, you've got 15 minutes, you don't need to be hopping around on one leg wasting the fans' time.
I can't disagree with that.
I would prefer to see it, or I would prefer that the booker would organize their show differently in order to give us those opportunities. But, I don't expect really hard selling as a baseline. I feel it is a treat when I get somebody who keeps up with their injuries through the match, like your Dolph Ziggler.
And by the way, that's why Dolph Ziggler's never going to fucking be the guy.
Because he sells too well.
He's too good at making other people look good. Mm-hmm. He's amazing at it. He sells...
Speaking of the guy, that is the dumbest nickname.
For in kayfabe? Yeah. Because that's an industry term. That is an industry term. You're the guy.
Yeah.
You're the guy. That's an industry term. Do you know why that's his nickname? Mm. Even though it's a dumb nickname.
I'm listening.
Because they're not booking Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. The current thing they're booking, and have been since, I'm guessing, the Royal Rumble, they've just been very quiet about it. I think Roman Reigns might be the best booked heel in the company right now. It's Roman Reigns versus the internet. They're booking Roman Reigns versus the internet.
I don't want to fight Roman Reigns. Big and scary.
He's fucking huge. But that's what they're,
wait. Can we have a bra and panties match?
He makes... uncomfortable. I don't want to see you in your bra and panties.
No, you know what? In the day, I don't want to see me in my bra and panties either.
But he makes intentionally really bad jokes that, looking back on how they're booking it now, either this was serendipity and the fates have decreed that it was supposed to be the case, or it was intentionally really shitty, like Suffering Succotash and Cream Puff. Those are intentionally done to piss the fans off because they're booking Roman Reigns versus the internet.
You think it might be a Johnny Ace thing and just like we're only now going, oh my god, shit, it was genius?
I don't know, because either they
It's me the whole time, Austin.
either they fucked up so long, and then you know what? But wait, we can turn this into a win. Why don't we just book Roman Reigns versus the internet? Or was always the plan since he started getting boos at the Rumble, and Vince was like, "Fuck it, book him against the internet. They want to boo him, now he's against them." It could be either one, but if it's the fucking second one, holy fuck, it's the best thing because it's working until now when he started getting cheers. But like the internet fucking despises Roman Reigns. Go to any internet place where they talk about wrestling and you will just see comments about how Roman Reigns is literally the worst thing that happened to wrestling and he wrestles worse than like middle schoolers. And like you will hear them give him the worst insults about how he has literally no talent, he's literally awful, and he makes everything worse. Alicia Fox is better. Someone literally wrote that. I don't know what matches you're watching, but there's every possibility people who are that angry at Roman Reigns, I want to let you in on something. There's every possibility you're getting worked so fucking hard.
Well, as we wrap this up on this acceptable show, I will leave you with a violent paraphrase of something our dearly departed Prince said. When somebody is coming at you and criticizing you for who you are and what you do and how you do it, so on and so forth, it really says less about you than it does about them.
I got nothing to add to that.
No, that's fucking truth dropped on you from the purple heavens above. Or, you know, whatever afterlife he was into. Yeah, he was into heaven.
Yeah.
That was because he was
super into heaven.
Yeah, he was one of the fucking Jehovah's Witnesses, wasn't he?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Everything's better when nerds talk about it.
Fuck it, let's get hardcore! Blood, pain, we're all insane. Suffer head trauma, destroy our brains. High